When God wants to save a nation, He sends a prophet to guide their path. God has given us a servant, Pastor Lois Akins, in this age, and accurately, God has used them to provide guidance for people, even in global events. For instance, let's look at how God uses servants to avert disasters about the Southwest Airline.
There is something called Southwest Airline Indian Ocean, and that was the image I kept seeing when I kept praying, and I kept praying about it. But we're going to pray this because there are things that can be averted, and there are things that cannot be averted. And then you pray against things that can be averted.
In 2021, God's servant gave a prophetic insight into the recession that would hit the UK economy in 2022.
Number 2, the United Kingdom economy. I was praying, and the Lord said, teach them on how to live by faith. This is what happens when you have all your T crossed and all your I's dotted, and you say to yourself, we have done all our padding, we shall have safe landing. But there was no safe landing.
Inflation now stands at over 10%. It is a tough road ahead.
The outlook is bleak. A long recession, falling growth, rising unemployment, and in Petersfield in Hampshire, an anxious wait for an announcement on interest rate.
The fact of the matter is that if we don't tackle the inflation, then the problem gets worse.
But he also painted a dire picture of the UK's economic landscape, and even more pain to come. Today's 0.75% rise is the biggest sustained increase in interest rates in more than 30 years, coupled with the longest recession on record, possibly 2 years, according to the Bank of England.
And also the sad news that would precede it.
Because this started with a bad news tragedy of a figure that is celebrated, taken away from among them.
The BBC is interrupting its normal programmes to bring you an important announcement. This is BBC News from London. Buckingham Palace has announced the death of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II.
These prophecies guided a lot of people in their investment, and many of God's children were saved from sudden loss. In 2022, Pastor Lois also spoke about the dip that will hit the popular cryptocurrency Bitcoin, even when physically it looked impossible.
Bitcoin, that's a dangerous place to go to. It will not go as you have predicted.
Pretty terrifying sounding numbers there, but how significant is this?
Your expectations are not the expectations you will see, and you will have generally in that region of business a long time of red. This is a long line of red. When people were selling off and giving away, giving up, suddenly a bounce back. But the long red did not stop.
Well, it happened, and those that heeded prophetic guidance were rescued from loss. In 2021, during a special program called Numaticals, Pastor Lois prophesied the emergence of Dogecoins. Even big players in crypto industry didn't know what Dogecoin is. Such was its irrelevance.
In the realm of the spirit, there is something they will call Doge, and it will make many of you millionaires. Doge, that's the name. I'm repeating it again, Doge. They will call it Doge, and it will make many of you millionaires. Take it seriously.
As a result of this prophetic guidance, many people got sudden and strange financial blessings in millions. For the first time, God is especially leading His servant to train men across the globe on how to work in these accurate prophetic gifts so that more men can be rich and rescued from sudden destruction.
Hi everyone, Lois Akins here, lead pastor of Faith House Church, and I'm doing this video to invite you to a special webinar that I am hosting on the prophetic. It is called the Prophetic Insight course. It's a fraction of the International School of the Supernatural Ministry. And I'm doing this video, this particular webinar this season, because I checked my DM recently. The history of this is what I'm telling you. I checked it recently and found out that About 40% of what I read was from people who wanted to know how I prophesy, just like you are seeing on the screen right now. A sample of my prophecies. These are international prophecies. We have decided not to show you prophecies that I give to individuals, as it is sensitive. And many people want to know how I do these things. And I've decided to host a webinar this date that you're seeing on the screen. So I'd like you to go ahead and register for that webinar right now. And from there, we'll take you deeper into the class. God bless you.
Don't miss this special golden offer. Follow the details on the screen to register and book a seat with God's servant, Pastor Lois Akins. See you in the prophetic class.